is all we have. This moment, right now. There's only one thing in our lives that we're never able to reacquire once it's gone. And I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about material items. I'm talking about time. And it's such a unique concept, unique idea, because when utilized correctly, it contains the ingredients to success, to happiness, to growth, prosperity, all the things we want. But at the very same time, if neglected, it leaves us with very little. Because the truth is, every morning when you wake up, you are living minutes you will never get back. You are breathing air you will never take in again. It is your one opportunity to embrace this gift. And every second sees a little of it slip away. And my point is that there is no moment more important, more perfect than right now. Not in a week, not after your promotion, not in 30 years when you plan to retire and relax. Right now. See, we have this mentality that the future is going to somehow mean more than the present. That if we suffer now, or if we're unhappy now, that we'll save the best in life for some other time. But the reality is, we don't get younger. Yes, we should be working hard. Absolutely. Success comes from effort, hard work, dedication, persistence. But the key is, allocate your precious time to the work, to the things that make you feel like today is powerful. That right now is so amazing you don't want it to end.
Woo! Right now, it's so amazing. We do not want it to end. Oh my goodness, do I have a powerful topic for you today, dreamers. You are not going to want to miss this one. This one's going to get a little deep, a little bit emotional, but I believe there's not a better time than right now to go ahead and give this message out. So, super grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the family. I'm ready to go ahead and pour into everybody. We've got a lot of value coming into this week, a lot of greatness is here and flowing through this month. I can feel it, I can see it, and I'm so excited to see what is also to come. So, with no further ado, today, family, we're going to be talking about the value of time, right? Now, this is such an important topic to me because over the years, I don't know if it's just me, but you guys maybe can feel the same below. Drop some twos down below if you feel like the older that you get, you start to understand and appreciate time a little bit more, right? So that's something that's huge for me. So today we're going to be diving deep into the topic of time. So here we go. Let's get a little bit of gratitude down below. I've got a story for everybody to go ahead and put life into perspective a little bit. Jojo in the building. I see you, girl. What's happening? Here we go. So what is everybody grateful for coming in today? Oh my, let me tell you, am I flowing with some gratitude today? The value of time. Okay, IG's live with me. They're gonna want to catch this one. Awesome. So, family, I'm grateful to be alive. Johnny, what's happening? I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for God. I'm telling you, listen, today, I'm so thankful to be able to move these things, to be able to breathe, to be able to smell the air, to be able to feel the breeze, to be able to feel the sun shining on my back, to hear the birds chirping in the background. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a story to show you why the gratitude is flowing so much today, right? Getting deep with the morning routine, being able to document the journey, grateful for it all, right? I say it all the time. We're grateful for everything that's happening in life because we know life is not happening to us. Life is happening for us, right? It's hard to see it at the time, but as you start to look back, you'll see eventually it all makes sense, right? So here we go. Let's get into it. Day 303 of getting the feeling down, getting the vision clear on paper in high definition. So here we go. Carbe, what's going on, brother? Yo, check this out. I've got a powerful story today for the family. Okay. The value of time. So something huge happened in my life in the past couple of days, right? And you know what the funny part about it is? Actually, there's nothing funny about it, but it's actually interesting. It was actually documented, right? I don't know if you all remember this, but when you go back on my YouTube, and it's so wild that I captured this, right? if you go back on my YouTube 14 days ago, okay, pretty much 2 weeks from today, you guys are going to notice that we actually did an interview. I don't know if you all remember, but I did an interview right here at my house, right here with this exact view. And the individual that was sitting right next to me, Johnny Walker, I have a story to go ahead and tell everybody today to go ahead and allow you to see the value of time. Okay. So Johnny Walker, I'm actually probably going to post this on my Instagram today so people can actually see this story, right? So Johnny Walker, I've known this individual for years now, right? How many of you guys have ever had maybe that high school friend that you haven't seen for years, maybe 3, 4, 5 years? You haven't talked to each other. You're always connected, right? You have that phone call here and there, but you haven't seen each other in forever, right? Well, that's how me and Johnny were, right? I haven't seen Johnny for years, since way back in the high school days, right? Pretty much. And long story short, recently, about 2 weeks ago, literally almost 2 weeks ago to the dot, going to the gym, going to eat Chipotle, and I happened to run into, guess who? Mr. Johnny, right? And it's just like one of those situations where it's like one of your good friends you haven't caught up in forever. That energy is vibrant. You guys are so excited to meet. That hug is just so surreal for years to be able to finally go ahead and connect. And it was amazing. We sat down. We had lunch. We sat there. We talked about, everything that's transpired over the past couple of years, some amazing stories. And, we just went on a walk. We went out to a nature trail and we just had this beautiful walk, just catching up, going over what, everything we've grown through and also getting into the vision. And he started telling me his story, how literally these past couple of weeks, these past couple of months, he's been feeling like he's had just a monkey on his back. He's been feeling like life has just been attacking him from all different areas. He got into vaping, which got him into all of these negative bad habits that seemed to trickle all the way down in all areas of his life. And this is somebody that was an athlete. This is somebody that's this big music artist in the area. And he started to succumb to this negative lifestyle, to all this negative habits. And he literally lost who he was, right? He told me he got into such deep depression. He wasn't going out. He wasn't eating. He wasn't hitting the gym. He's eating junk food all the time. He's sitting inside 4 white walls, doing nothing, depressed every day. And he told me it's insane the timing of how you and I met. You see, the day before, literally at midnight, I made a decision to say, enough is enough. I'm ready to go ahead and change. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm ready to go ahead and see what it is that I can really become. And long story short, we ended up meeting the next day at the gym. And it was funny because these next 14 days, I've literally been talking to him every single day. He's come over to my house. Out of those 14 days, probably 10 of the past 14, right? We've been together almost every day. We've been hitting the gym together. We've been hitting the sauna. We've been working out. We've been reading books. We've been listening to audios. We've been going to nature trails and really just getting deep with God, right? Because that was a connection that he was lacking. And I was able to go ahead and open that door for him. And he started reading the Bible. He started getting deep into himself. And it was such a beautiful shift that I was able to go ahead and see. And it's and 2 weeks ago, you guys can actually get on here, right? Lady Boss Nikki, she literally had the chance to meet him over at my house as we're studying, as we're learning, as we're growing, right? So she heard his story. She heard the shift that he had in his life, from going from depressed, from going inside of his shell, from not knowing what he wants to do with his life, to finding his purpose, to really being able to be a light, to be somebody that can show others what is possible. And it's so wild. I even put it up on my story like a week ago. He's like, D, I'm ready to start hitting the gym again. I'm ready to start getting healthy. He literally, from where his house is to the gym, right? From where the cities meet, there's a bridge that's right in the middle, and it's 5 miles, right? He calls me at midnight. He runs 5 miles to the bridge. And then he calls me. He said, D, I just wrote, I haven't ran 5 miles ever. I just have so much energy. I'm so vibrant. I stopped smoking. I'm eating better. I've been getting some sleep. I just can't believe how good I feel. I was like, Johnny, you're a savage. And he runs 5 miles all the way back home, right? This is like a week ago. And he's going to the gym. He's working out. So here's what happens, okay? Over the course of this week, we're getting together. We're growing. We're studying. We're learning. He's getting stuff out there. He's getting some content. And I go to the gym on Saturday. Okay, Friday night, he messages me on Friday night at midnight. He said, D, what's going on? How you doing, brother? I'm like, man, it's midnight. I'm just putting some products in my store. I'm just over here. I'm working. What's going on? How are you? He's like, guess what? I'm like, what? He's like, FaceTime me real quick. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, yo, I'm back at the bridge. Literally at midnight, this kid is running 5 miles just to go ahead and better himself. Right? I didn't even know this, but he was actually training for a marathon. That's how serious he was getting with his fitness, right? So he FaceTimes me. It's midnight, it's Friday night. He's like, D, what's going on? I was like, yo, you're doing it again? You're an animal. He's like, yeah, I'm really looking to get my body right. I've been eating great. I've been on this streak, right? Over a week. I've been reading the Bible. I've been feeling so good. I'm loving life right now. I said, Johnny, I just want to take a second. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful for the growth you've been able to have. I'm so glad that you've been able to finally realize who you are. I was like, you know what? Let's go hit the gym in the morning. Let me know when you get up. Let's go hit the gym. And Saturday comes around. Saturday, I have a whole bunch of calls in the morning. I got a late start to the gym. I didn't end up going until about noon. And he didn't text me, right? So I'm like, all right, he might be there already. Maybe he got a late start. Maybe he slept in a little bit. I'm sure he's tired from the long run, right? So I get up, I go to the gym at about noon, and I get through my workout. I don't see him there, and I was literally gonna hit him up for lunch to see like, yo, where you at? I didn't see you at the gym. And I'm about 40 minutes through my workout. I'm about finishing up, and I see an ambulance pulls up in front of the gym. And I'm like, okay, maybe some old guy. Maybe he had some issues. Well, the ambulance comes inside and they walk throughout the whole gym and then they go into the pool. I'm like, huh? Oh no, something happened inside of the pool. And I'm hearing these people chatter and they're talking about it's a 22-year-old, 23-year-old kid. And I'm like, 23-year-old kid? Why are they coming inside of the pool? Why is the ambulance inside of the pool for a kid? And they tell me he drowned. He drowned in the pool. And now I've got 1,000 questions going on. I'm trying to compute the situation that's even happening to understand it right now. And I'm asking everybody, do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Nobody has any idea. I go to the front desk. They can't give me his identity. And here I am just asking myself, I was like, the only way that somebody around 22, 23 years old would ever have that situation happen in a pool I could think of logically was maybe if they were trying to swim. I don't know how many, have you guys ever seen how far you can swim underwater, right? I used to do that. I used to maybe even go to the gym and I would swim maybe across one time to see if I could make it. But that's the only thing I could think of. So in my head, I'm literally tearing up as I'm looking at the ambulance and all the police start coming in. And I remember just walking out, just saying, I literally got outside and I got on my knees and I said a prayer for him and for his family. Because I'm just thinking about, imagine his family, imagine his parents, right? He's going to the gym a normal day and they're going to get that phone call from your ambulance. They're going to get that phone call from the police and they have to get that news. And I literally just broke down in tears crying. Like, I can't imagine what their family's going to be going through. I can't even believe how young this happened. 22, 23 years old. And the day goes on. And I get a phone call. at about 7 p.m. And it's actually from one of his close friends. His roommate, actually. And his roommate calls and tells me, he said, D, I don't know if you know the news that's going on, but Johnny he had an incident inside of the gym. I said, what do you mean? He's working out. He hurt himself. He's like, nah, he was actually in the pool and he had a situation. Mind you, I was already at the gym. I already saw the ambulance. I already saw the police. I already saw what I didn't want to see. I just didn't know who the identity was. And he goes on to tell me that was actually Johnny. That was the individual that's on my YouTube live 14 days ago. You guys can go back and watch it. It's called like the 3 keys to build your business. I'm gonna put on my post today. And he told me that he's been on and off. His organs are failing one by one, and it's not looking so hot. And I go over to his house at about 10 o'clock at night because he never got back to me. He's not answering my phone. He's not answering me, and nobody's home. And I go to the hospital and they won't let me in. And the next day, this is Sunday, right? I finally get about 45 calls in the morning, and it turns out he actually passed. So I don't get on here to give you this sappy story, to get on here to get everybody emotional. I get on here to impress upon you that time is very real. Time waits on nobody. This is somebody that literally just made a decision to go ahead and shift his whole life for the better. And it's almost like the exact same scenario with my sister. I remember asking myself, why God, why? Well, why does this happen to such amazing young souls? And the more I sit and the more I think about it, and the more I let it just absorb, nothing happens for a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know exactly what that reason is right now, but I do know that he played a role. He lived his life. He was able to go ahead and he now has a story to go ahead and impact countless lives, more lives than we could even fathom. And that he's not gone. He's still here. He's on this call. I'm telling you, even before this call, I've had so many weird things happen even this morning. I've had the trash can bin closed out of nowhere. I've had these Blue Jays and these Redbirds flying back and forth as I'm crying in tears before I get on this call to go ahead and wipe them off and get on here for you. Yeah. If there's one thing I've noticed along this journey, is one major thing is time. All of us can drop $1 on the floor and any of us can go ahead and make $1 back. But none of us, nobody walking, there's no prophet that can literally drop a second of time and get that second back. So I say this story to allow you to put yourself into perspective to see, number one, how grateful it is to be alive. I want you to think about any problem, anything that we've been complaining about yesterday, the past week, the past month, and ask yourself, what does that compare to even being alive? The fact that we can take a breath, the fact that we can even be on here and speak to each other right now. Starts to make all those little problems start to dissipate, right? I gave myself this mind state when I was 21 years old when I found out my sister passed, right? How would you live if you only had 8 years left to live? Because my sister passed at 28, right? So 7, 8 years. So I told myself, how would you live if you only had a limited time on your clock? Because here's the truth. All of us have a limited time. I was reading a post yesterday, and it was talking about nobody ever realizes the regret until you actually get old and you're sitting and you don't even have the physical capability to be able to do the things that you wanted to do. And you won't believe how fast that time actually comes. And I believe that because I see it all the time. So I wanted to get on here to share this story with you, to hopefully allow you to see life in perspective, to allow you to see that we don't all these things that we say we have to do. We have to go to the gym. We have to eat better. We have to show up for ourselves. None of that, not one of those things is a have to. Every one of them is a privilege. We have a choice. We get to step in the best version of ourselves today. We get to give love. We get to give joy. We get to go ahead and be a person of light in a world with so much darkness, where so many people are looking for it. And that's the truth. He literally worked like he had no time left. He was literally pushing his shot clock until his clock had no time left. Like, to be able to say that he went out bettering himself, to me is so beautiful. Powerful to witness. So I'm very emotional as I get on this call today, as I share this story, but I hope you guys got a little bit of value from today. This was a touchy topic for me to talk about. I didn't know if I was going to talk about it. I didn't know if I wanted to put it out there, but God was just telling me, he's like, D, they got to hear this one. They got to feel this one. So, fam, with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Never, let's take today to sit and just think about how grateful it is that we can take a breath, we can breathe, we can step out, we can give love, we can give joy, we can hug somebody, we can give that call that we've been waiting to give right here, right now. So, family, I love you guys. Go out and be great. If nobody told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm so grateful for what is to come. And I know that we've just become a long way, dreamers. We've come a long way. Pat yourself on the back. Go out and be great. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything that you hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. I love you, family. Let's go.